Phone fell. Help. What's happening? Why is it so dark? Wait. Why is it so dark? I don't understand. Could my phone please stop doing that? Like, for Christ's sake. First of all, what's going on Twitter? Why is my phone bazinging a million times? Stop doing that. Second, why is it so dark? I don't understand. Focus. Is it not focused? I don't understand what's going on with the light. Like, it was just fine. No sound. Hello, is this working now? Can you hear me? Can you even see me? It's so dark, help! Why is it so hard to ask for things to just work? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why things can't just work! Can see and hear you. But why is it so dark? Why is the stream so dark? I need help. I need actual help. Like, that's not a joke. I need real help. I need real assistance. Unplug that. I don't need that anymore. I need, like, real assistance. Life is a tornado of nails. That's very true. Like, it was just fine and and then I keep dropping my phone, for Christ's sake! Go away, I don't need the keyboard right now. I don't have a fucking camera mount for my phone. I just want things to go well. Why is it so difficult to ask? Stop dropping the phone, you klutz. I have to hold the phone in a weird way and it's shaky and uncontrollable and I hate it. Because I shake all the time. My hands just shake. Okay, so here's the thing. It's not... No, I didn't click that, you ignorant. I'm trying to, like, manage everything. For Christ's sake! I don't ask for a lot. I don't ask for a lot. I really don't. Ow, that hurt. I have 3, like, dumb little streams on here. They're absolute garbage. That's not what I wanted. I need help. Like, this honestly isn't working. And I don't know what's happening. I'm trying to just be. I'm just trying to survive, and I'm just trying to live. I'm just trying to stream. That's all I wanted, was to stream. See, it's so dark. Why is it so dark? And why does it look like that? Oh my god, that's hideous. Get those out of here. Ick. How do I change it? No. How do I get rid of the things? Oh god, that's not what I wanted for sure. Change. Okay, now what the heck? Why did it change and now it won't change back? This is some bogus. All I want to do is get rid of this thing so it's not in the way. And it's like, that looks so awful. That looks so bad. Why does it look like that? That looks like so bad. I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much. I really don't. Let's set the thing there and figure out what's going on with my life. It's so dark. Scoot it over. Just roll with it. That's my mom again. No. Okay. Are you having stream? Are you in Streamlabs hell? I might be. I'm using the mobile app for Streamlabs. And it's not well. It's not good. It's not. It really isn't. I don't ask for much. Other than to just live and be a person and stream. And will this work? Hi, can you see me now? Holy crap. Let's put this somewhere in a place so I can be seen. Hello? 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 Ow. The mobile app is a Oh, it's Ragehound. Hi, Ragehound. That's like the first time I've seen Ragehound on one of my streams. Yeah, this mobile app is definitely not funzo. Not funzo at all. Let's get this light in a way to where I would like it to be down. Sure. I look like a ghost. Hello, everybody. I am the ghost of streaming past. You tend to stream when I edit. Oh, well, that's fine. I mean, I'm not even worried about it. I'm trying to get rid of all of these things that seem to be cluttered up in the corner here. I don't know how to get rid of those. Those are in the way, and I don't like it. Yeah. Okay, so I accidentally pointed to the chat. The chat is over here for some reason. Ow. That was loud. And this, I'm trying to get rid of these little boxes. Trying to get rid of this. This is not what I want. Can you manually adjust the text size? I would absolutely love to. There's edit streaming info, which isn't what I need. Cancel. There's a bell icon. That doesn't do anything. Surprise. What else is in here? There's a thingy. Camera enhancer. No. Absolutely not. Well, maybe. Will it change the brightness? Exposure? Yes, please. 6-step increase, 3-step increase. I don't know what any of these mean. 1-step increase? Did you work? Oh, I see what's happening. Ha ha ha. Got it. So I need brightness up, please. And then I need, white balance, perhaps? Oh, no, that's ugly. Oh my god, ew, what have I done? This has become experiment stream. That kind of looks half decent. Let me try effects. What's that? Oh, ew. Oh my god, no. Ew. Off. Goodbye. Anti-banding? I don't know what that is. Goodbye. 3A mode? What the hell is that? Beach? What does that do? I don't know what's happening. Party? Who doesn't love a party? That didn't do anything. Goodbye. In editor, you should be able to drag the size smaller. I was doing that earlier, but I don't know if there's a way that I can actually do that while streaming. Each of the units, chat box, donation ticker, goal, etc. Yeah, because I know what you're talking about. I don't think I can get there from here, though. I think I specifically have to stop streaming, which is absolute bogus, in order to do that. What is this? Oh, I switched the camera. That's not what I wanted. What's that? Editor? Oh my god, yes! Get that over here. Goodbye. Make it small. Make it small. Make it pretty. Can I edit this? Edit? Chat box. Chat box. No. Can't edit the font. No, that's not what I wanted. Let's make that smaller. Whoops, this is not what I wanted. So, yeah, let's move that and move that. And let's make everything small. And hopefully that works. Perhaps, maybe, I don't know. Trying to send a screenshot. Couldn't work out. Oh, that's fine. The screen crap is gone. Finally. Oh, no. It reappeared. I saw it. You know what? You know what? It's fine. I think I'm just going to get rid of it entirely because it's in the way and I hate it. That's gonna go and that's gonna go. Goodbye. 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 I said goodbye. Good day. This is why I hate their app. Okay, let's play with those camera settings again. I liked that. Let's experimente with the camera thing. Autofocus? Aggressive? Smooth? Macro? No, I probably don't need that. Let's just do auto. Auto's probably the best option. Filters! Yas, girl, get your filters on. Increase? Increase, 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 decrease, decrease, increase. I don't know what that's doing for me. Stabilization. On. Hello? Do not mix Coca-Cola and caramel. You will get severely wasted. I'm sorry you had to experience that. Off. What do I need? Oops, that's not what I needed. What do I need? Scene. What does this do? Barcode? What is that? That didn't do anything. Action? That didn't do anything. Candlelight? Oh god, no. Please don't. Face priority? Who doesn't love that? No. Fireworks? Ew, why? HDR? Didn't do anything. Landscape? Didn't do anything. Night? Didn't do anything. Night portrait? Didn't do anything. Party? Didn't do anything. Portrait? Didn't do anything. Snow? No, didn't do anything. Sports? Didn't do anything. Steady photo? Didn't do anything. Sunset? Ew, that's gross. Theater? Didn't do anything. Ugh. You're headed to MFF, right? You know, I would really, really love to go. I don't know. I mean, I would like to go. When is it again? The end of November? November what through what? I can't remember. Welcome to Mobile Streamlabs. We love adding weird filters because we like the names, but they don't do anything. That's the story of my life. Let's focus on this white balance. Let's see what that does. Maybe it can fix something. No, of course it didn't. Exposure, can you help me? Maybe I can turn down this exposure so I'm not blinding everybody with my pasty white skin. Obviously not. That's fine. We'll survive. For now. I can't see my thing because my phone's in the way. Sorry, gotta move for just a minute. This is going to go off. Goodbye. And this is gonna move back over here. Okay, great. Hi, hello, how are ya? Still got everything chilling out right here. What was I saying? I was talking about MFF. I would like to go. And it's not that I don't have the funds or the time. Well, maybe I don't because it's already the 7th and I would have to request the days off. And if it's the end of November, then it might be too late. Plus, I would still need to get a room. I would need to buy the badge. I would have to find a way to get there because I don't have a car. I don't have a car. And even if I did, that's a 6-hour drive. For me, at least. And then the money is spent on gas. Plus, not to mention, I would be going by myself. Because I don't have friends. And everyone's like, oh, you joking. You have friends. And it's like, I honestly really don't have friends. I have a friend, and then I had my partner, which was the silver fox you've seen in a couple of my videos, and we're going through a difficult time at this very moment, so I don't think we'll be going together, because there's just a lot of shit going on between us as individuals right now. So I won't be going with him. And it's weird because he's the person I always go to conventions with. I say that like I've been to so many conventions. I've only been to a few, but he's just been the person that I've always gone with because those conventions are like, they share our similar interests, and if we're just gonna go anyway, then we might as well just go together. Like, it just makes sense. But yeah. So I would be going by myself, and that's difficult because I'm just not used to going places by myself. And I don't like going places by myself. I mean, I guess it depends on where. If I'm, like, going down the street to buy a soda, then, yeah, I'm gonna go by myself because I'm just buying a soda. But I'm going out of state around a bunch of people I've never seen, met, heard of before, and then it's like, oh, what am I doing, where am I supposed to be, what is happening? And it's just like this massive, like, oh my god kind of moment. Help. What were you saying? I feel hi. Oh, I can't read. I'm actually dyslexic. What was I just doing? Reading. I feel you on difficult partner stuff. I'm not dating my roommate, but we've been more than friends, and it's going about as horrible as it can go. Ugh. Raxel joined the stream. What's going on? Oh, so much. So much. So much is going on. Would love to go, but I can't. Sucks not being able to get your non-furry partner to go to cons. Well, my partner is a furry. I was actually the one that got him in to the furry fandom. I mean, he knew what furries were, and he was kind of on the edge about it to begin with. But once I showed up, he's like, oh, furries are cool. I'm going to be a furry. Legit. And then we were furries together, and we were just like, I don't want to say a furry power couple, because there's so many more stronger power couples that are furries besides us. I can't convert my hubby. I'm sorry. I brought my non-furry ex to MFF. That was a poor decision. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have one friend. He went to his first furry convention with me and my partner at the time. And he went because I asked him if he wanted to come, and he's like, oh, it's not like I have anything better to do. He didn't go because he wanted to be like, ooh, what are furries like? Furries behind the scene. He's not into that kind of stuff. He's not a furry. Ooh, he's a closet furry. I know it for a fact. So, he went to his first furry convention. And I remember him specifically stating that he was surrounded by the enemy. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? This isn't Vietnam. We're not in some kind of World War II. Like, what's happening? So, he had a good time with me, but he didn't have a good time at the con. I know that sounds confusing. So I didn't want to ask him to, like, leave the comfort and privacy of his own home and quite literally the state to go on a 6-hour drive to a place that he's never been to before around a bunch of people that he doesn't like just to amuse my benefit. So I would definitely be going by myself. And I've been thinking about it a lot too, because I was never originally planning on going to MFF in the first place, because my partner at the time wanted to go. He wanted to go, but he didn't have the funds. And I'm like, okay, that's understandable. Like, if you can't buy your badge, then obviously you can't go to the convention, and if you don't have enough money for the badge, then obviously you don't have enough money to share the room, and all of these X, Y, and Z's for money issues. And I was like, that's fine, we can save up, we can go next year, it's no problem. But now that we're having our dilemma, and I'm not currently with him, I was thinking like, oh, well, I could go by myself. But that, like, hurts. It hurts my heart to, like, Not my heart. That made no sense. Oh no, gotta go. Bye, Queen. Stay amazing. Thanks, bye. What was I just saying? Oh. This is gonna sound really weird, but I am an introvert. I don't talk to strangers. I don't go up to somebody and say, "Hi, how are you? Do you want to be my friend?" I don't just like, I don't do that. And I don't think I physically can. It just boggles my mind. So when I go to these conventions, I just had like a Vietnam flashback. Sorry. I didn't mean to like stop and look brain dead for a minute. My partner, he was my partner at the time. We go to these conventions and he's like, "Why do you always hang around me? Why don't you go make some friends?" And he didn't understand that he was literally my only friend. Well, not my friend. My special friend. And it's something he could never comprehend because he's the kind of guy that can just see somebody playing a game that he likes and he can go up to them and be like, "Oh, you like StarCraft? I like StarCraft." And then they can have a 2-hour conversation about how they like StarCraft, and at the end of the conversation, they're best buds. I can't do that. That's not me. Like, I don't I can't do that. And it's not like I do it on purpose because I'm not trying to like ignore people. I'm not trying to be like shady. Because I have people come up to me all the time. "Hey, how are you? How's your day? How's your life? How's your family? How's this? How's that?" And it's like, "Oh, it's fine." And then not talk to them ever again. That's why there's this thing called bars and alcohol. They help with all of that social stuff. Sad. Don't take Raxel's advice. This is literally the story of my life. I feel that. I feel that. And it's like, I'm not trying to like shade people on purpose. I'm not trying to ignore you or like distance the conversation. It just literally frightens me as an individual to talk to somebody. And it's there's so many things. There's so many reasons why. And it's just like, like, what? Oh my god, I thought my cat was down there and I'm seeing things. I'm hallucinating. Help. So like, if a fan messages me, like, I don't know, on Twitter or something, or on Amito, and they're like, "I love your content, I'm a big fan, and all this stuff about how I like you, and all this stuff about how you're super cool," and I just go, "Thanks." I don't know. And it's not like I don't like you, because I love all of my fans. I love you all equally. You're all very important to this channel, to this community, and I appreciate you. I just can't put myself, I can't, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I totally like lost it. It was there and now it's gone. And my partner at the time, he's like, "Well, why is it so hard to just make new friends. And it's like, you know, I wish I had that problem. I wish I had the problem of, oh, how many friends can I make today? Instead of, oh my god, I hope no one talks to me ever. And that's it. Yeah, Raxel just commented something very important. And I'm not, like, attacking you or anything, but he said, put yourself out there socially. Here's the tea. I am so afraid of having someone either turn their back on me and, like, abandon me in my weakest moment, because that's happened and it's absolutely horrible, or I'm going to disappoint them. And I know that sounds really weird, but that's just how I am. And it's just like, I don't want to disappoint people because I'm a people pleaser. I will sit there and talk to you about, you know, like, if you're having a bad day, I'll sit there and talk to you for an hour about, why are you having a bad day? How can I help you? Like, what can I do to make your life, what can I do to make your day better? What can I do for you to make you smile? Because that's just what I do. That's just the kind of person I am. I hate disappointing people. It's absolutely horrible. For me, it feels like the world is ending completely. and then having someone turn their back on me. True story. Here's the tea. Are you guys ready? I had a friend who I have known since kindergarten. Quite literally. Lived right down the street from. We took the bus to school. We played together on the playground. We grew up together. And I thought I knew him. But one day, he felt like a shady bitch. And he turned his back on me and did some shit. And that hurt. It was the worst feeling. And I just don't want to go through that again. And now I'm like reliving the moment, and now I'm getting emotional. Don't be frightened. Don't be frightened. I'm secreting. It's fine. Don't feel that way. I totally understand why you're afraid, though. How about living your life and being successful, but still being looked down on by your own family? That's fucking hurtful. Yeah, that would absolutely suck. Hello, there's a hair in my eye, and I don't want it there. This light isn't flattering at all. Can I get, like, another light? Can I get something better? Something, like, cuter? Can I get something nice? Ow. That hurt. There's a bump on my head. Can I use this lamp? Will this lamp help me? Can I put this lampshade on and, like, be evenly lit? And, like, have things work? Let's put this light in. Hopefully. I'm trying to. It's not going in. Okay, there. So now I actually have to plug the lamp in. And then, without getting tangled in my 3 million different cables. Okay, so now the lamp's plugged in. So let's set the lamp over here and then turn the lamp on. It didn't really help a lot. What if I turn this, like, over a skosh? No, that didn't really... Well, it helps a little bit. Yeah, that helps a little bit. Yeah, that helps a little bit. I'm sure it doesn't help that my camera has the worst phone on it. My phone has the worst camera on it. Because that was a sentence. What the hell was I doing? Hi, She. Try to have a good night. I hope you feel better. Try to listen to some music. It might help a little bit. I hope you feel better tomorrow. Oh, I always manage to get out of it by tomorrow. Or eventually, at least. Yeah. It was just so weird. And it put me in a daze and in a state of denial because I didn't want to believe that he was doing that. So I was like, totally like, oh, there's no way. This can't be true. You know, he'd never do that. Like, this is impossible. Like, it was one of those. Can I fix this? That's as good as it's gonna get. And it was just so weird to think you know somebody. And then you don't? Like, I don't know. It was like the ultimate betrayal. Just trying to think. I know you guys are probably like, oh, what's the tea? Spill it, girl. And some of you are probably like, no, keep it to yourself. Like, I don't want to hear it. Bye. My best friend did some pretty nasty... Oh, my phone's in the way. There. Did some pretty nasty shit to me. We don't talk anymore. I felt betrayed, hurt, and broken. Yeah, I feel that, fam. I don't talk with this gentleman anymore. We stopped talking years ago. And it was just... And what made it especially awkward is that we worked together. We actually worked in the same place. So, every time I had to go to work, he was there. Because we worked in the same place. So not only was I seeing him at school and in my neighborhood, because we also lived right across the street from each other, but I had to go to work with him. And I did that, you know, we go to school together, we live across the street from each other, and we go to work together because I thought he was my friend. And I was like, oh, we're gonna be best buds for life. Let's do all of our life stuff together. You know, let's, you know, do our milestones together. And I don't know, I guess he just wasn't in it like I was. Because, yeah. And there's like a pistachio crumb from like 2 days ago. Not even 2 days ago. That was like a week ago. Yeah. So everyone's probably gonna be like, oh, what's the tea spill? Like, what he do? And I've actually been thinking about like making a video about it. Like, how to drop your toxic friends or something. Or like how to tell you have a toxic friend. And I know, like, that's not relevant to my channel and my content because I'm a furry channel. I'm a furry YouTuber. But I don't know. I just feel like it would help somebody. I don't know. Maybe you got a toxic friend and you don't even know it. Hey, Okami, how are you doing? Well, what is all this? Just came in and hi to you. Yeah, I'm streaming on the Streamlabs mobile app. It's awful, and I don't think I'll use it ever again. I mean, humans are fallible and can be especially shitty to each other. That's for sure. I do understand those deep-rooted trust issues. I mean, I kind of want to talk about it, but I don't know if that's like too much. I don't know if that's going to be like TMI or, you know, too personal. I don't know. And I understand, like, there are people like, oh, I want to know, like, what's your favorite color and what's your favorite ice cream. And, like, there are going to be people that want to know a lot about you, and I get that. But sometimes, like, there's a limit, and sometimes they only want to know so much. I'm not forcing you to do anything. Oh, no, I never said you were forcing me to do anything. You do what you're comfortable with. It's not that I'm uncomfortable talking about it. It's just I don't want to make other people uncomfortable talking about it. I don't want to be like, oh, here's my tea. It's hot. Look out. And then people aren't ready for it. And it kind of just, I don't know. I don't want to make somebody, like, uncomfortable. I don't want to trigger somebody talking about this because it's got some triggering stuff in it. Like, this is, like, legit shit. Okay, I see and get it now. Just remember there's a few who will listen if you truly need it. Yeah, I got my one friend who actually, like, sits down and grinds through my emotional baggage with me. I totally understand. I totally understand if you don't share. Either way works. Yeah. I mean, you know what? The stream is going to be unlisted when I stop streaming because that's what I do with all of my streams. I just like, oh, done streaming, checked, you're gone. So this stream isn't going to stay up forever, so I'm not really worried about it. I totally understand. You know, share the way it works. And then fire! Oh my god, fire, hot tea! Got him! Look out for that hot tea! I've gone ballistic. I'm not worried about it because the stream's gonna be unlisted when it goes down. There's only a few people. There's 9 people in the thing, and I'm pretty sure like 8 of them aren't even listening. Yeah, you know, balls in, might as well. You know, no big deal. So here's the context. Here's the tea. I had a friend. We'll call him Jeremiah. Jeremiah, I have grown up with. Jeremiah was my friend kindergarten through probably 11th grade year in high school. We lived across the street from each other. We went to the same schools together. We hung out all the time. We played with the same friends together. We were like the A team. We were like the bad bitches. Like we were those kinds of kids. Like the inseparable. The I will hang myself if you have to leave me kind of people. That's the kinds of friends we were. And it was going well. It was going really well until 11th grade year in high school hit. And that's when the tea got too hot. I was reading the chat. My bad. Okay. And when you're in high school, you start trying to discover yourself, figure out who you are, who you're meant to be, like, you know, where you want your life to go. High school is that pivotal moment in your life where it's like, this is who I'm going to be for the rest of my life, no ands, or buts about it. So it's definitely a power struggle for every teenager going through that time. And we were both going through it. We were figuring out who we were, who we wanted to be, all of these X, Y, and Z's for our life, and everything else. And, you know, in high school, you have, like, your crushes and your high school love interests and your, you know, high school BFs, high school GFs, high school everything, because you're in high school and you want to get experimental. Which is fine. I'm not saying being experimental is bad. You know, do whatever you need to do to figure out who you need to be and who you are. But Jeremiah got a little too experimental, and he was really pushing my limits, and he was pushing my buttons. I didn't want to say anything because I was like, you know, he's figuring himself out. This is just his phase. This is his moment. This is what's going on. Everything will be fine. Just let it happen. He'll learn. But things got a little too hot. I started dating. And, we'll call my date, Kevin. So I started dating Kevin. And Jeremiah didn't like that I was dating Kevin. And I didn't know why, because they seemed to get along just fine. They seemed fine, casual friends. Hey, how's your day? What's good? And that was it. You know, there were a couple times they hung out together, played video games, watched TV, you know, all of those X, Y, and Z's like buddies do. But buddies soon turned into something that was not buddies. I had found out that Jeremiah had gotten intimate with Kevin while me and Kevin were together. And they had both told me, you know, they both sat me down, they said, hey, we need to talk about something. And I was like, okay, girl, spill the tea, what is it? And they told me everything. They told me what happened, what went down. And I absolutely couldn't believe it. Like, I was, like, in shock. Like, here's what I remember happening. This happened 4 years ago, keep in mind, so nothing is, like, to a T 100% because it's all joggled up and everything. But here's what I remember. They both sat me down. They said, we need to tell you something. And I said, okay, what's going on? They said, Jeremiah said, me and Kevin had a moment the other night. And things just got out of hand. And my first reaction was to laugh. Because I thought they were playing a joke on me. Because I knew Jeremiah for so long that I wouldn't even believe that he would do something like that. So I laughed. And I was like, that's the dumbest joke I've ever heard. Don't do that. That's not funny. And he goes, it's not a joke. I'm sorry, but I'm not joking. And he does that a lot. Jeremiah, we go back and forth with the jokes. We do a lot of serious, like, dirty, grindy, like, sick jokes to each other. So I was under the assumption that he was playing a joke on me. And I was like, okay, cut the crap. It's not funny. What do you guys really need to tell me? And they were just quiet. They were just done. They were just like, that's it. And that's when I broke down because I was like, you guys can't be fucking serious. This is absolute, like, this is not cool. Like, that's not funny. And I was in such a state of denial that I couldn't even comprehend the emotions that I was feeling. I was distressed. I was confused. I was everything else in between. And believe it or not, I still tried deep down in my heart, in my absolute being, I still tried to be Jeremiah's friend, despite what he did. And I still tried to be with Kevin, despite what happened. And it just turned into this whole triangle, and it turned into this whole emotional cluster of a disaster. And I just said, look, Jeremiah, I've known you for so long, but I don't think I can be your friend anymore. And he's like, yeah, I think I feel the same way. And I said, okay, that's fine. And we just stopped being friends. And that's the end of the Jeremiah story, because at the end of the Jeremiah story, the Kevin story starts. And the Kevin story is a long story. Like a long story. Oh my god, it's so fucking long. Hi! My cat is here. Come here. Hi! Hi, kitty. Oh, you coming to lay down? You coming to say hi? Look at all the people. Look at all the people. Hi. He's like, I don't care about them. Just pet me. And then the Kevin story starts. Okay. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an anything but a retail worker, furry YouTuber. And that is the extent of my life. But I want to know if this sounds absolutely crazy. After the Jeremiah story ended, the Kevin story starts. Kevin tried to play the incident with Jeremiah off as sexual assault. And at first, I was keen to listen to him because I'm like, sexual assault's not cool. If that's really what it was, you need to tell me what happened because that's not gonna fly. And he told me his side of the story, and he told me what happened and his thoughts. And I sat there for a minute to take it all in and process it and think about it. And I said, well, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Because there were so many holes, so many things wrong with his story, that it just didn't make sense at all. And it was weird, because I wanted to believe him, because you don't just joke about sexual assault, you don't just lie about that kind of stuff. So I sat there, and I was, honest to God, I was thinking about it for so long. Like, well, what if this? Well, no, that wouldn't make sense because of this. Well, what if that happened? No, that wouldn't make sense because this happened. And it didn't make sense at all. And I told him, I was like, I'm sorry, but your story doesn't make sense. And he took that to offense. I'm not surprised that he did, because if anyone's like, oh, he assaulted me, here's my story, and somebody doesn't believe you, then you're gonna be a little offended. But the thing was, he was, like, overly offended. Like, he was overly exerting himself to the point, like, I don't know why you won't believe me. I'm telling the truth. How can you think I'm a liar when blah, 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 blah. And he was just whittling off all of these things on his little list about how I don't believe him and how I don't love him because I won't believe him when this happened, when really this happened. And it just didn't, it wasn't adding up. And I said, look, it's not adding up. So I suppose I should give you the context for why it doesn't add up, because I'm sitting here saying it's not adding up and it doesn't make sense, and you guys don't even know why. So, here's the tea. I say that a lot. When Kevin and Jeremiah, okay, so I'll just start from the beginning. I'll just say the whole thing. I'll just start from the beginning and I'll just go. We were in high school and I got grounded because I was doing some bad shit that I shouldn't have been doing. Not gonna get into that right now. And I was grounded for a hot minute. So Jeremiah and Kevin were hanging out. And I said, you know what, that's fine. Whatever. You guys hang out, play a video game, watch TV, whatever. You guys are buddies. No big deal. This was before I knew they were doing their thing. Jeremiah and Kevin were at Jeremiah's house, which is quite literally a block away, maybe even 2 blocks from my house. It was not a far walk. I would say 3-minute, 4-minute walk tops. They were at Jeremiah's house, watching TV, I would assume. I don't know. Playing a video game. Dude stuff. Just hanging out, being bros. Kevin, all of a sudden, states, I have a random boner right now. Which, 1, is a red flag right there. 2, Jeremiah then took it upon himself to take that statement as an invitation, and that's how their intimate moment began. That's how it rolled into play. That's how it came into effect. So I asked Kevin, well, why would you say that? Like, why would you make that apparent? Dudes don't just share that kind of thing with each other, Like, that's kind of TMI. That's a little too much, And he goes, well, I didn't want Jeremiah rubbing up against it and getting the wrong idea. And so I stopped him again and said, well, Jeremiah shouldn't be rubbing up against you unless there's something going on. So what's going on? And so he goes in to explain further about how he really didn't want it to happen and how he was uncomfortable the entire time and, how he was depressed afterwards and he, all this X, Y, and Z's to make him look like the good guy. And so he stated that it was sexual assault because he didn't want it. There was no consent or X, Y, and Z's to all of that. And I said, okay, so why didn't you leave? Why didn't you call your mom, call your dad, call a friend? Why didn't you go? If you really didn't want it to happen, okay. I'm going to stop the story again for some more context. Jeremiah was a very small boy. Jeremiah had to be the thinnest boy. And it's not because he was malnourished. He just had a very high metabolism. So he was very thin. I would say 95 pounds, 100 pounds tops. Jeremiah was not heavy at all. Compared to Kevin, who was a mostly matured, grown, adolescent, strong, capable. If he really didn't want it and he wanted it to stop, it wouldn't have taken him a lot of effort to stop the situation. And then, okay, so back to what I said about leaving. I said, why didn't you go? He's like, I don't know where I would have gone. And I said, what do you mean? My house is 3 minutes away, and you got another friend's house across the street from me who's another 5 minutes away. What are you talking about? You had places to go. Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call a friend? Why didn't you call your mom to come pick you up? And he goes, oh, I didn't want to bother her. It's like, you're not making any sense. You're not making the slightest sense. Hello, Andrea. And I was like, look, you're not making sense. And I'm sorry to make it sound like I'm against you, because I am absolutely not against victims of sexual assault, because I've gone through that myself and it's not fun. But I can't believe your story. It doesn't make sense. And so, one of Kevin's main points he always addresses was, well, I didn't leave because I didn't want him to say anything to you. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck do you mean? That's not cool. And I guess what he meant was he didn't want Jeremiah giving me the wrong idea or telling me that Kevin was doing this when he really wasn't, and blah, 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 blah. And first of all, okay, my insides were trying to creep out of me, but it's fine. And I stopped him and I said, I can understand being manipulated to a point where you don't want to talk because that's happened to me. I get that. But the other points, all of the other key points that he's mentioned still don't add up. Like, why would you just state that you have a random boner if you don't want anything to happen? What? Hey, you don't look so good. Please try to feel a little more positive. You don't deserve to be unhappy. I can speak from going through depression. Please try to love yourself. It's so hard. It is hard. It's extremely hard. So difficult. And I probably don't look good, 1, because of this lighting, 2, because of my camera, and 3, because I just always look like this. But as I was, 1, you don't state you have a random boner if you don't want anything to happen. 2, you don't claim that it's sexual assault and then give me some kind of weird story that I can poke a bunch of holes in real quick. Am I crazy? Am I literally that dumb? I don't understand. I think the story was kind of shady when they tried to tell you what happened from the beginning. And another thing about that too is because they both, Jeremiah and Kevin, sat me down together and we had a group conversation about what happened between them. And hi, are you making yourself comfortable, little kitty? Oh, the sweet little kitty. Here, I wrap you up in my sweater. Hi, you want to become a little kitty burrito? Oh, look at the little kitty burrito. I got a kitty burrito. But as I was, they had both sat me down at the same time, and we had this conversation together. And Kevin didn't say anything. Jeremiah was the one to tell the whole story, beginning to end, period, point blank. And not once did Kevin jump in, correct him, say anything, mention anything, or all of those X, Y, and Z's. And so I told him, I said, if Jeremiah was lying to me, why didn't you say so? If those things really didn't happen, why didn't you say so? It would be different if Kevin said something alone. So, I'm sorry, maybe I didn't make myself clear. There were two separate conversations. The one that we had all together as a group, and then the one that me and Kevin had separately. So I didn't make myself clear. There were two conversations. So, the one we had together as a group and the one where I was poking a bunch of holes in Kevin's story. That was a separate conversation from what we had. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm being crazy. Maybe I'm being paranoid. Maybe I'm not thinking in the right way. But the story just didn't make sense. And then another thing he wants to tell me, no, you did. I'm saying if he came up to you first instead of together. Oh, yeah, that would be completely different. If Kevin came up to me and said, hey, something happened, here's the tea, I would still want to get them all together and have a conversation as a group. Because it's very important to have both sides of the story these days. Because all of a sudden you got women claiming that they've been raped by these guys when all they did was look at them. And so I totally get that. And I know I'm doing this a lot with my hands. And I don't mean to, like, do my magic fingers at you. But I just do that. So I would still want to talk to them both. And get both sides of the story so I can better understand what happened and what was going on and how this and how that and all the X, Y, and Z's. But even then, no, because that is where, when you two did the convo in private, would have called the bluff and said, okay, let's go fill papers and call it out there. Magic fingers. Yeah, magic fingers. Where was I? Right. Oh, I scared Anakin. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. When we were having the conversation as a group together, Kevin still didn't say anything. He was just there observing. And so that's where I'm coming in. It's like, if what the fuck did I call him? Jeremiah. If Jeremiah was lying to me and he wasn't telling the truth, why didn't you speak up? If Jeremiah was talking shit about you when that shit about you really didn't happen, why didn't you say so? Why didn't you lay your story out when Jeremiah was laying his story out? Why didn't you correct him if those things were false? And it only leads me to believe that if you don't speak up, then it's true. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I bothering you? Is my salty story of agony and pain disturbing you? Really? Oh, you're gonna lay down right there, huh? That's where we're laying right now. You're gonna lay down right there. Thank you for that. Knocked over my cup. Time for you to get down. Thanks. What was I doing? Now that Anakin distracted me? I was saying that the reason Kevin didn't speak up and then gave me a completely different story separate from Jeremiah's. Didn't make sense to me. And like I said, I'm not against sexual assault victims, because that shit actually sucks. But it didn't sound like sexual assault. We're having some kind of emotional breakthrough. A little bit. A little bit, yeah. So, it just didn't make sense to me. And we were on and off for me and Kevin. Me and Kevin were on and off for so long because I really liked Kevin and I really wanted to be with Kevin. And I said, maybe we just need to give this some time. Maybe we just need to step back, take a breath, and just, try and calm down. And maybe things will start making sense in a few days. Like, maybe, something, maybe Jeremiah will say something, maybe Kevin will say something, something, anything could happen. So I was like, let's just relax, let's just calm down, take a few days, no big deal. A few days turned into a few years, and things got hectic, and it began to turn into the only thing we argued about, and then we started arguing quite frequently, and it just turned into this gross, big, messy disaster, and I said, look, I can't do this anymore. It's gotta stop. And yeah, that's kind of where it is. I got crumbs on my desk. Another thing that happened with Kevin, I was just barely, later she, you are my inspiration. Oh, thanks. Oh my gosh. I'm glad my emotional breakdown stream can inspire you. And so, what was I saying? Right. Something else happened with Kevin. I was just barely, it's been 2.5 years since the whole Kevin and Jeremiah incident happened, and I was starting to break through and detach myself from the situation, and I was starting to make progress with my mental health and my state of being, and I started to feel good, and I was like, this could work. Things might be good. Things might go the way I want them to go now. Breakdowns are completely different. Where was I? Right. I was just getting out of my rut. I was just climbing out of my hole. I was starting to okay, things are gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. But one day, back when I had my old Samsung, I dropped it really hard or something and the camera broke. And instead of wasting fucking $300 to buy a new phone for the camera, I asked Kevin if I could have his old phone so I could use it for the camera. I told him I wouldn't use it for anything else because I already have a phone that I can go on Twitter, check my medias, make phone calls, send texts, all of that other fun stuff. I just would like to use the camera. And he said, okay, sure, you can use the camera. I mean, you may need to charge it, but whatever. You can use the camera, it's fine. And so I got it. It was his old phone, so he he cleaned it out a little bit before he got the new phone because he had to make a couple of transfers, data, pictures, texts, all that other shit to his new phone. So this phone was pretty fresh. It was clean. But as I'm going through, I found a file. a file of images that I didn't really appreciate. And Queen, I have returned. Well, welcome back. And it was a file of pictures that I didn't really appreciate. And if you've been following me on Twitter for a while, actually, I probably shouldn't, because I don't want to drop names or anything, because it's not their fault. Yeah, it's fine. And the pictures were of all of these men naked, having, you know, intimate sexual actions with themselves and others. There were video clips. There were, you know, all of these things in this file. And I took a picture of one of the images that I found, and I sent it to Kevin, and I said, I found this on your phone. I want you to know that whatever excuse you have to give me for this is not going to be good enough. And it just absolutely demolished me. And it sucks. And everybody always has the question, like, oh, well, did he download it from somewhere? Like, is it from a website? Is it just, like, what's going on? And so here's my thing on that. I don't care if you watch pornography. I don't care if you go on Pornhub and have yourself a grand old time for 30 minutes. You know, whatever. No big deal. Everybody watches porn. Who cares? These weren't pictures that were downloaded from a website. These were pictures from Telegram. These were pictures sent to him from a Telegram user. Or multiple Telegram users, because some of the people in the pictures were different. It wasn't just one. So, I don't care if you watch porn. Everybody does. It's normal. It's fine. But when people are exclusively sending you pictures of their body parts on Telegram, that's not porn. That's real life people with their real life body parts sending you pictures of themselves on Telegram. So yeah, I took a picture. I texted it to him. I need a drink of water because my throat's hurting. I said, I found this on your phone. Whatever excuse you have to give me, it's not going to be good enough. And all he had to say was, can we talk about this later? And I said, no. To be frank with you, I don't want to talk about it at all. Because whatever you have to say isn't going to please me, isn't going to change my mind, isn't going to make me feel good about the things I just found. So, no, I really don't want to talk about it later or at all. So, yeah. Ow. And then he sent me like a long barrage of text messages about how I'm the problem and everything's my fault and I don't trust him and I don't love him and all of this other bullshit because he got caught. And his ass knew he got caught. And I said, I can't believe your attitude right now. It was just absolutely baffling. To me, at least. I don't know about anybody else, but... So, yeah. And the good old switcheroo. He does that a lot. He did that a lot, I guess I should say. Not does. It's past tense. Yeah. And it really sucked. Because I really liked Kevin. I thought Kevin was the one. And I know that sounds weird. Like, despite all of the shit that happened between me and Kevin. I know that sounds weird to say. But it's like a feeling. Like a feeling you get inside your body. And it was, I don't know. It just felt that way. Queen, what happened in the past, happened in the past. Live in the present and aim for the future. Forget the last. If you don't like it. Forget the past if you don't like it. We're all here for you. We're all your friends. I think my stream is lagging again. Like, the quality just dipped 100%. That doesn't justify it anyway. No, I'm not saying it justifies his actions. What I was trying to say was, like, I wanted to trust him, and I wanted to put my trust in him, but it was just, I just physically couldn't. And it, like, I couldn't, I'm sorry. You good? 'Cause I see it in your eyes. Still hurts? That stare gives you away. Well, I mean, technically, no, I'm never okay. But, yeah. It's still, like, really fresh. Like, it's still, like, fresh, it's still new. It's still something I'm trying to wrap my mind around. So, it's just emotional. I haven't really gotten over it yet. When is anyone okay? That's me. Okay, so that's the tea. I know it was a long story. It was a lot of tea. Oh. Questions, concerns, thoughts, input? Love to hear it. You can tell I'm obviously having a hard time figuring out what I need to do. Yeah. Yeah. Damn, girl, you just spilled the Earth's supply of tea. Yeah, it's definitely a lot. Oh, you want all of our inputs and thoughts? Scary runs for the hills. I mean, I don't need it. I just thought, like, normally when somebody shares, like, a long emotional story like that, people always have something to add or to say or to just, like, give somebody advice because, like, that's just what people do. Like, oh, I don't know what you should do, but here's what I would do if I was you kind of thing. So this is just act 1 of the problems, I would assume. kind of. What happened with Jeremiah and Kevin, I would say, would be the first act because I was trying to live through that for almost 2.5 years. And then Act 2 would be when I found all of those things on Kevin's phone. And then it led up to about a few months ago. Nah, you did good. You feel even marginally better. I mean, it's hard to explain the feeling. I'm not like, ooh, I can take on the world, or anything like that. Because I've never felt that way. I'm not like in a state of despair or grief. I'm scared to say anything, fearing that I might say something wrong. I mean, don't even worry about it. Okay, so there any signs prior to any of that what happened? There were a few red flags given from Jeremiah, but that was like years and years and years ago, and I didn't think much of it because I didn't put it into perspective until like a couple years ago when the whole thing with Jeremiah was relevant. So that's not too important. Some weight is off, but it's still there. I don't know, I've been to plenty of shrinks. I don't know what a shrink is. I don't know what a shrink is. Sorry. Be patient, stay distracted. My split was brutal. Oh, with your relationship, I was like, what are you talking about? You split your knee? What? My split was brutal and involved the ex sleeping with friends. Took me years to open up about it. Sorry. I suck at grammar and talking. Oof. That's me. Remember, you are the queen of queens. I'm the queen of tea spilling. I have a lot of tea to spill. There's a lot. She's the furry queen. I like being queen of things. Just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything or leave anything out, because when I tell stories like this, I want everyone to have like the full context to make sure like I'm not leading anybody in the wrong direction or anything. Shrink equals psychologist. Oh, I've never been to one of those. Never seen a psychologist. Actually, I have twice, and they didn't really help me, so I stopped seeing them. Whoa, she read my comment. Most attention I've gotten in my life. Gotta send a box of goodies with a small ship in it with tea bags, like, hanging on the sides. That's kind of funny. What was I just doing? I can't even remember. Help. Help. Can't remember. I think that's about it. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's it for the tea spilling today. I think the tea's been spilt enough today. Time to mop it up. Sorry, history plus you and your tea spilling. That should be my second channel. Tea spill. By the way, I love your Sona. Thanks. And it wouldn't even be tea about, like, famous people. It would just be my tea. It would just be tea about my life. I thought I was gonna drown in tea. Well, if you want more, I have some. So yeah, I think that's enough tea for today. My tea spilling life. That's my second channel. My tea spilling life. What does tea cry? Oh, ha 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 ha. Tears. Very funny. Guess I missed the great tea spill. Sorry, mate. You're a little late. An hour and 30 minutes late. Yeah. Yawn. Okay, that's enough tea for today. I'm tired. It's 11 o'clock. I need to go to bed. I have to work tomorrow. No more tea. No more tea today. It's night time. I'll see everyone later.